shot. Come on. Yeah!
Needs it.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Yorktown Lanes for the Stepladder Finals of the 2023 PWBA Bowlers Journal Cleveland Open. I am Jason Thomas, and I'm here to merely introduce the stars of the evening, at least behind the camera, although I'm sure you guys would prefer to be in front of the camera. Kelly Kulik and Sydney Brummett.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Well, we've got a great Stepladder Finals, a bunch of roll-offs here this week, and you guys are here to call the finals. Lindsay Boomershine and Diana Zavjalova will be in our opening match, and then we've got 3 more great matches after that. I'm sure you guys have been watching all week, although, Kelly, I know you've been rehabbing, getting ready for the U.S. Women's Open.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had a slight injury last week in Grand Rapids, and I really just thought it'd be better if I nursed my injury, had some rehabilitation on it, and take off and try to train and get ready for next week's big event with the U.S. Women being the major.
All right, Sydney, you did actually bowl this week, so you got a good look at what was going on out there. I'm sure you were watching as well. Folks in the we've got a big crowd here tonight. But Sydney, what were you seeing out on the lanes this week while you were competing, and what can we expect to see here tonight?
The fresh was quite a bit tricky this week. We saw the women struggle with how fresh the back ends felt. Balls wanted to be extremely sharp down lane. We had to find a way to combat that. And after we got through a game or two, it was how quickly can you get to the left and find the correct shape to get through the front part of the lane and get your ball to go through the pins the correct way. We'll see the women get into clean, quick balls fairly quickly, simply because of how much practice they have on this TV pair. And it'll be who can make the best shots for 10 frames in a row.
All right, well, about 2 minutes away from the end of our practice, and we'll get underway with the Stepladder Finals. I'm going to step aside. I'll be helping with the giveaways tonight. We've got 3, Brunswick Mindset and Storm and Roto-Grip Balls of Choice. So I'll be probably, thankfully for the crowd, disappearing. You two will be able to call the action for us, and it should be a great show.
Danielle McEwan? She gonna win her ring? Lindsay Boomershine? Don't like her? What about Diana Z? Okay, we're ready. You see the countdown there, folks. It's almost time for the opening match. We want to hear you. The ladies want to hear you. Who's going to take home the title? It's a good one. Stay tuned, and we're going to get started momentarily.
That's Robin Graves, our tournament director. Lots of energy uplifting this great-sized crowd here at Yorktown Lanes tonight. Should be a great showcase of all these fantastic athletes in front of the camera. We did see some 300 shot this week, Sydney. I know there were some low scores that the women had battled, coming off a game of maybe a 157 or a 162, and then just combat right back at it and shoot a big 300 game to make up for it.
Yeah, there were 3. It was Verity Crawley, Jordan Richard, Birgit Norex, who all showed that perfection was attainable this week. It's thrilling to watch. Maybe we'll have one here in the finals as well.
It would be nice. I don't know if Jason over here knows if there's any type of bonus associated with a 300 on Bowl TV.
There is. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Oh,
Our
good.
friends
I'm
at
glad.
Go Bowling are putting up $10,000 for a 300 game tonight. And as Dasha Kovalova once asked before she bowled 300 on TV, what happens if I bowl more than one? And the answer is you get $10,000 again. $10,000 for everybody.
That is wonderful news. Well, considering how many they were thrown in qualification this week, there's a good chance we might see one on tonight's telecast. Diana Z, she's just coming off back-to-back telecast. She just was in Grand Rapids recently, where the women traveled from there here to Cleveland. She made the show at the final championship match. She's our number 5th seed tonight, who actually won in a roll-off and defeated Lauren Pate to give her a chance here tonight.
Here for the 2023 PWBA Bowlers Journal Cleveland Open. Looks like Miss Diana Zavjalova is going to get us started. Who's going to advance? Who's going to applause and find out.
Lindsay's the 4th seed, so she got to choose who started the match. She will start 2nd, meaning she will finish the match, leaving Diana to roll the final frame in the 10th frame to decide her fate if she will win and move on to the next match. But let's see what she does here in the first opening frame. Two 8-10 to start the match. Just to give you some inclination, the women are bowling on 39 feet this week, so she is clearly already close to the 4th arrow. You can see the ball traveling very, very long down the lane with any braking motion in sight. 39 feet. We also bowled on an oil called Infinity, which for those of you out there, Kegel fans alike, it's similar to ice, very slick. Sydney plays very slick, similar to it. So you can see for 39 feet, you think you'd see some back end motion, but the oil is key factor in this reaction.
Diana chooses to use her square ball to go straight at the 2-8-10. Ends up getting to the fun way.
Yeah, I thought the 10 was going to bounce back out.
Pins have been bouncing around quite a bit here at Yorktown lanes.
Lindsay Boomershine, this is her 3rd telecast of the season. Won the major at the USBC Queens. Kicks off the match with a strike. First frame sliding about 25, 14, 15 at the arrows, all the way about to 8. That would be what I would suggest, Sydney. You know the rule of thumb. Okay, the rule of thumb is the 31-foot rule. So you have 39 minus 31, roughly give you a starting break point around board 8. Just at the end of the patterns where you want to see the ball start to change direction. So right now, didn't look like she had a good look in practice when we were warming up and I was observing. But right now, she started off with a good solid frame with that first frame strike. Not enough to trip the 9-pin. Stands by itself. From this angle, looks like the left lane, she's sliding about the same point, but maybe not as quite far right at the arrows.
Every left lane for me, aside from one pair, so out of the 12 games that we bowled, only one pair, the right lane hooked more. So it would be, I did not cross on 23 and 24, but it wouldn't be surprising to me if lane 23 hooked a tad more than 24.
Yeah, and that's characteristic at some centers. You find that pattern as the athletes are changing lanes, that one will often hook more than the other and go back and forth. So good characteristic to know. I do know, talking to Aaron Cottrell, one of the proprietors here, they just put in the new section from about the dots to the arrows, a new anvil lane section. So that just went in last August. And because of the original surface, it is 30 years old. So that does develop some friction in the front part and the back part of the lane. Diana looking to make up for that first frame. Oh, and she 2-8-10s again. I always find it so interesting, Sydney, that from practice, when the ball can actually get to the pocket and look pretty good in reaction, that all of a sudden after that 15 minutes, things happen to change so rapidly.
It's like we go into this alternate universe practice, and when the lights come on, they're not the same. Feels like you're blowing on an entirely different pair. Diana, you see the body language that she has, looking at her tour reps. Like, what happened?
Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes 10 frames is just not enough.
Choosing to go straight at it again. Gets a different 2. Still gives it a run. She'll go converse with the SPI team's ball rep, specifically Sean Ryan.
Third frame, same ball. See if it gives us a different result. Wow, she went even deeper. So this is where it's going to become tricky, right? She's in the zone she was at. Let's see where she's sliding, roughly about 29. Looks from this angle about 18, 19 at the arrows. She got closer to the head pin, but again, 39 feet, middle hasn't developed. Four-step style approach. I got to think there's going to be a ball change coming up here pretty soon.
There has to be. It was often that I heard tour reps and their players talking a lot about ball speed. It wouldn't be surprising to me if Diana made that move to the left and geared down her ball speed to allow it to shape. We have to give the ball enough time when we get our feet that far left to make that large motion to get all the way out to 8. As women, our rev rates are as high as the men. And so in comparison to them, we have to gear down.
Lindsay's locked in on that right lane. Five-step approach. She's about 24 again, hovering right over that 15-16 board. Ball roll is nice and smooth at the end of the pattern, not too sideways or too angular. She's got a huge 33-pin lead only after 3 frames. Both women using asymmetric bowling balls, a stronger weight block inside. I would typically think low flaring stuff to try to stay a little bit more direct towards the pocket would be good.
I will tell you, Kel, I tried that.
Didn't work?
Wasn't good.
Ugh.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, she's much deeper on that left lane. So this is where it becomes interesting, right? This is a lot of things that the athletes look into as a professional bowler. We're trying to finite a lot of the reaction based on a few things, right? The length of the pattern, the volume of the pattern, the bowler style in general, and then the fourth thing that really is a huge factor is just the actual lane surface itself. And this being a center, which is in fantastic shape. Again, the proprietors here, Aaron and Jeremy, do a fantastic job upkeeping everything in the maintenance. But the older friction is in the front, so the ball will tend to look like it's burning in the front and just look like go straighting in the back end.
We are going to see Diana make a ball change here.
Same part of the lane, different ball. Does not slow down. 4-10. 3 frames, 4 frames in, 4 splits to begin with. This is where the probability chart would come up saying she probably has about a 25% chance of winning along the way.
I can hear just off to our right her friends, her European friends saying, do something cool.
Well, now she's almost gave it a run.
She tried.
She's in a crosshair. The first ball she started off with didn't recover. This one now was too angular, never slowed down, and never, what we call out here on tour, bleeding out, and never tried to bleed out its energy into a roll. 4th frame's in, 36 in the 4th frame. Another ball change here, so she's going back to a strong asymmetric, different cover. And this is unfortunate because she bowled so well to get her in this position tonight to be on the telecast in the 5th position. Looking for her first clean frame, something along the way. Makeable spare.
They're together.
Again, sliding 29-30, so she's in that same zone, roughly around 20 at the arrows. Again, you could see the ball all of a sudden quickly change direction. First clean frame for Diana. Lindsay looking to extend her 54-pin lead here in frame number 5. Three in a row for Lindsay, taking commanding lead, only through 5 frames. Her mental game has gotten so much stronger ever since she came back out on tour this season. You know, the one telecast where she made, I believe at Spokane, was the first one, or Stockton she finished 4th. And then obviously the Queens win, her mental confidence has just been boosted.
We always knew it was a matter of time before Lindsay found her first title. Just took a little more digging than she would have preferred.
Locked in, Lindsay is. Sliding about 24-25, slightly deeper at the arrows on the left lane. Again, really solid ball motion.
That shot from Lindsay looked left down lane in comparison to her other ones. And when you could miss left, these last 2 days was when you were aware you had good ball motion. You could miss a little right and get the light hits and the world was fine. It was when you missed left. What did your ball do?
And Diana recovers. I do know, watch, like she's sliding again the same spot. She's a little bit more steepness through the front part of the lane, a little more angle through the front. Allows the ball to skid much longer down the lane. See if she finds her direction on the left lane. Two great shots by Diana. Moves like she moved her target a little bit to the right, her feet maybe a little bit further left, a little bit steeper again, larger angle, allows the ball to push further down the lane. Comes back with 2 X's on the board. Another good shot.
Diana has to be sitting on the bench, not hoping that Lindsay makes a mistake, but hoping for an opportunity.
Well, she's down by 74 pins with 3 frames to go, so.
There is a very slim chance.
Yeah.
But you never give up.
Never in our sport. Unfortunately, one game determines who advances, but it's the whole round. It's the whole qualification of 12 and 24 games that got her here in the first place. Lindsay commented in the show at the Queens too. She was really working on how she was hinging the ball into her swing, just kind of letting it fall in front of her and walking past it. And she's been so accurate ever since she's changed that.
It's another great shot from Lindsay. It's like we're just watching replays.
Yeah.
You know, if that doesn't 8-pin, it's as if we watched the 6th frame all over again.
I'm going to age myself, Sydney. It's like going back to those VHS days, and I hit rewind, and then I hit play. Forget the DVR. It's the VHS days.
Don't worry. I'm not old enough. I don't remember that.
Okay.
Okay, I remember. I got it. I had Rugrats on VHS.
Ugh. Switches to the spare ball. Cross lane, single pin.
I remember VHS, Kelly.
Oh, thank you, Jason. Thank you. TV pair 23 and 24, this beautiful 40 lane center. We're right next door to a ice cream custard place, which I plan on visiting afterwards.
The parking lot's been packed every time I try and go over there, so it must mean it's good.
Diana looking for 3 in a row. That's just it. I know she's shaking her head too. Watch, she's sliding. Same thing, 29, about 18 at the arrow. She's getting it out to about 9, 10, so not quite as far right as Lindsay down the lane. But you notice they both have different ball roll, and her ball roll allows the ball to push a little bit more easier through the front part of the lane, more direct and more linear.
Lovely break there for Diana. 4-pin goes late. All I'm thinking for her in this moment is these are the frames that are going to bleed over into the U.S. Open. This is her bridge to the U.S. Open. We want to make sure that she wants to make sure ultimately that it's a good feeling and that she's confident in what she can do. Of course, it's another telecast made and not necessarily a win or how she would have hoped that it would have ended, but it is positive momentum moving forward.
Yeah, well, Lindsay's going to just go advance now to the next match. Diana had a great performance to get here again to the show, but Lindsay will now move on to that next match. She's going to face Danielle McEwan coming up, waiting in the sidelines. 1 frame left to go for Lindsay. This is where I would just, if she wanted to fish around a little bit, I call it nicely fishing. Try a different ball or anything. She's obviously locked in right now with a great reaction. She will not be allowed to practice as Danielle takes her 6 to 8 deliveries during the break. But a good opportunity. She can max out to 259.
At this point, Kelly, if you're in Lindsay's shoes, you've won the match, what's going through your head?
I want to try a different ball. I'm thinking to myself, okay, my reaction is great, but I know a transition is ahead of me. It's coming up in the next match. Danielle is going to be most likely a little bit right of me or maybe in the same area. So I would be looking at my arsenal as to what my sequence was, what I tried during qualification, and try 1 or 2 balls in this next shot just to see what it gives me. I'm not sure you can improve on a 250 reaction. You know, I think that's every bowler's dream. You know, give me a ball that's going to help me shoot 240 or better. But I would still just want to try something just to see what it gives me. See the 2 gentlemen sitting in the back. You have Jeremy on the left. Aaron is in between. And their father, Mike, is in the red shirt. I believe Aaron said that his grandfather built this center. Oh, long time ago. Long time ago.
I've been coming here for about 10, 15 years, and it's always been one of our favorites to come to, me and my family. The owners, the management, the staff has always been welcoming. And my first year on tour, we came here as well, and it's somewhere I look forward to coming to.
Yes. 256 for Lindsay Boomershine. 185 max score if Diana strikes out. Lindsay will move on and face Danielle in the next match.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get a huge round of applause for our 5th place finisher from have Miss Diana Zavjalova. Miss Lindsay Boomershine advances to face Danielle McEwan.
Just want to remind folks out there, we're going to have a Brunswick Mindset bowling ball giveaway coming up next between match 1 and match 2. So don't go away. But first, a few words from our sponsors at Brunswick.
Fans, our remaining finalists are going to come over to the champ.
We want to welcome to the PWBA Winner's Circle, Brianna Klemmer.
Liz Culkin is the Long Island Classic champion.
Dasha Kovalova, your 2022 PWBA Pepsi Classic champion.
And congratulations to Birgit Norreich, your 2022 Queen's champion.
All right, folks, we are back. Thank you to our friends at Brunswick. We're going to get that giveaway rolling for everybody out there. So you're going to want to take it out of full screen mode to have a chance to win a Brunswick Mindset from our friends, Gold Partners Brunswick. In the meantime, Sid and Kelly, we've got a couple more good matches coming up next.
Yeah, we see Stefanie Johnson, who's our number 2 qualifier. She's getting a few shots in on the TV pair. Lindsay has to wait in the sidelines. Danielle McEwan, she's got her few shots to take before she hits the ground running, or rolling, if you might want to add. We're here in lovely Cleveland, Ohio, home of the Rock and Roll Music Hall of Fame. If you've never been to it, I highly suggest you take it in as an attraction. It's a great place to go and see the history of music and how it's developed over the years. Kind of on the water, too. It's a nice area to be down in downtown Cleveland.
Cleveland rocks.
Cleveland does rock. Drew Carey show. Cleveland rocks. He's a huge fan of Cleveland. Michael Simonson, one of the chefs out of Cleveland, Ohio. Love his food. Love some of his cuisine for sure. Home of the pierogi. My Polish heritage. Haven't had one yet. Sydney, who'd you cross with this week in this competition?
I crossed with a couple of first-timers. It was a pleasure. One, Kirsten, and another, Emily. They're both fresh out of college, so it was wonderful to be with them. And I also crossed with Jasmine Mason and Madison Janak.
Okay.
Yes, I had a very
Madison had a
young
good week,
pair.
too.
She did. She bowled great, and Gigi did as well. Ran into some struggles the second block at the end, both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Madison ultimately making it into the advancers round today, and it was wonderful to compete with them. They were kind, on top of their moves, and both Madison and Gigi are hysterical. And so it felt like we were laughing most of the block. We celebrated every roll 2, every trip 4. Like we were bowling a team event.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Well, that's kind of neat to know. It's definitely when you span across the center, the demographic of the age has definitely changed. We see a lot more youthful women out here competing that have just either graduated college or maybe in their junior or senior year at college. We had a great following from our international friends from Finland and Sweden and Germany that are still out here competing, that will travel to the U.S. Open and bowl the TQR tournament qualifier as well. So, yeah, we just have a fantastic field of competitors from all over.
I was jumping up and down, literally, in our hotel room a couple days ago when I was told that we have a PTQ roster for the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
Because that means a full field of women who want to bowl for the U.S. Women's Open title. I think it's going to be fun to look forward to and bowl in, watch, 3 squads, bowling all day long. I'm sure our Bowl TV crew is super excited to stream that all day. Make sure you tune in.
We are. And we're also excited that APO took home the Brunswick Mindset. So congratulations. Our marketing folks will be reaching out to you after the weekend to get your information and send you your Brunswick Mindset.
Congratulations. I'm looking at my phone just to make sure I have all the stats correct as to see. There were 100 competitors in the field this week. We've been selling out, which has been fantastic. And then I was looking at those that had qualified and what position they finished in just to see where they were in the ranks. And again, seeing how many international players we had. So, you know us women, we know how to multitask.
That's right. That's right. I thought you were checking to see if you won the giveaway.
I didn't know. No, but my mindset has been different lately, Jason, I have to admit.
Let's give these ladies a round of applause. Find out who advances to the semifinal match right here in Cleveland.
All right, Danielle, higher seed. She's chosen to start. Maybe has a better look on the right lane. Looks like she's throwing a very clean cover. Well, I don't know. It could be an asymmetric. No, it's not an asymmetric. It is a high RG, clean cover, symmetric bowling ball. Sliding 30, about 19 at the arrows. Ooh, trips out the 2-pin, only leaving the 10-pin standing alone.
I'm leaning back in my chair as Danielle throws that one, asking it to hook, because there came a point when we would get far enough left over the last 2 days, you knew if your ball wasn't hooking at about 40 feet, you were more than likely going to 210.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to say, I'm sorry I missed out this week because of my leg and trying to rehabilitate and stuff, but I think I would have enjoyed bowling on this pattern. It would have suited my game very, very well. But I also know I would have had a few head scratches along the way. Easily converts to 10-pin. Let's see if Lindy has the same reaction that she had early on. So far, so good.
That is now 6 for 6 for Lindsay on that right lane.
Still sliding the same spot, 16 at the arrows, gets about to about board 8 at the break point. You know, with the different lane surface too, I'm looking at when we see the Brunswick Pro-Am lane, we have those brown indicators, you know, that are board 15 and board 10 at certain distances down the lane. With the old surface, you don't have those clues along the way to see where you can really see the ball shape at the end of the break point. Opens up with a double.
Being a part of the Team USA program with Danielle, it was common for the team to call her the Robot.
Yeah, Robot was 2.0 was her nickname?
Robot, yeah, 2.0. And right now, it looks like Lindsay might be joining that club.
Yeah.
It's the same shot over and over and over.
I know Danielle struggled a bit with her physical game last week. And she's still, even working through that, she was able to come back here and make a show tonight. It still doesn't feel 100% comfortable to her. But she's working through it. She's about 17 at the arrows. She's getting it to about 9, 10. Great shot there by Danielle. Sliding about 28, 29, roughly where Diana was. almost in the same part of the lane as Diana was in that last match. And 4 of the contestants tonight out of the top 5 were also, again, coming from Grand Rapids. And let me just paint the picture to you all. You know, the Grand Rapids was a 3-game series or a 3-event series. They all made the round of 24 for the final championship. Drove here Wednesday, practiced Thursday, bowled Friday and competed, and now in the telecast tonight.
Surprising that that one gets back to the 1-3. Steeper to the right, meaning it gets to the right much more quickly than the other shot she had thrown beforehand. Still 10 straight back.
Mm-hmm. So you know you're in the right part of the lane with the right ball.
Feels like you're doing magic tricks when that happens.
I don't know about magic tricks. I just the smile on my face gets a little bit bigger.
I am a huge Harry Potter fan, so they kind of go hand in hand.
Oh, there you go. Looking for 4 in a row. And she's got it. This looks like she's sliding a little bit deeper. Now 26. She was at 24. So 2 boards further left. Brings the target, maybe 1 board with her.
Trip on the 4.
Danielle's not slowing down, trying to keep up with Lindsay. Watch here, 5-step approach. She's sliding 28, 17 at the arrows. Again, 10. So Lindsay's break point is a little bit further right. She's also using a higher RG ball, something that's just going to, again, float or push down the lane a little bit more freer, a little bit more easily.
Danielle also more up the back of the ball than Lindsay. She'll need help from a bowling ball to get through the front part of the lane.
Does it roll? Not quite. Just a little bit long and late. Leaves the flat 10. Makes the spare easy. All right, Lindsay's on 4 in a row. Looking for, I think it's called Yahtzee, is 5. Looking for Yahtzee. She's got an 11-pin lead over Danielle. Again, looking for 5 strikes in a row here in the 5th frame. She's got it. Instant replay again, sliding 25, 26. So she has made a slight move inward. I've got some good information too. Cecil Scarborough, he's our gentleman rep on the truck. He takes care of all our player services and so forth, and said that she was a little reluctant to drill in this bowling ball. She really didn't want to drill it. She wasn't going to throw it. And Steve Jacobs, he's one of our managers out here on the ladies tour, convinced her that, hey, you can double down here and throw this ball for $10,000 and see what it's like. And I'm glad she drilled the bowling ball. I'm sure she will be too.
With that, we can plug the PWBA YouTube channel. You can go check out Patrick's newest release, 10 straight back against from Lindsay. Patrick's newest release, where we take you through exactly what it's like to drill a ball on tour. What most people didn't know, and most of the comments we're getting, is yes, in fact, we do pay to have bowling balls drilled on the truck.
Yes, we do.
$50 for Cecil's hard work. But it could win you, like Lindsay, $10,000. Who knows?
We're finally seeing some of the high scores that we had predicted earlier. Danielle sliding 29, 17 at the arrows, again, about board 10. Both ladies like the right lane so far. Stefanie Johnson's waiting in the wings. She's down on the practice pair getting warmed up for her first TV appearance of the season.
Six pin does its job, gets the 10 out late.
29. I have to admit, I do see something in Danielle's physical game that I haven't seen before. And again, it's to point out something that she's really working through, but I can just see in her fourth step, everything steps way far to the right, then she slides left. So again, I have to compliment her because even at not feeling at 100%, she's still finding a way to strike. Just how good these athletes are.
Here we go, JT.
Lindsay Boomershine. That was 7 in a row for Lindsay, so we surpassed the 6-pack. Now we've got 7. What's the terminology for 8?
A lot of them.
8 is great. I would think 8 is great right now. .31-pin lead, 7 in a row, looking to convert and add on to be 8 strikes in a row. A little firm. Oh, and she rolls the 2-4-5.
If you're going to be firm, do it on that left lane.
I thought this was a little bit fast off her hand, a little bit more firmer ball speed.
I would agree, so it gets further right down lane.
Just wrinkles the 2-4-5. And Danielle's still in this match, right? It's spare in the first frame, then the 5th. I mean, she can still strike out for 269. And she keeps the pressure up. Yeah, that 4th step just steps a little bit out to the right.
I believe that physical game cue that's coming in for Danielle comes from an injury she had last season that she shared with us on social media. I believe it was a broken toe.
Yes.
That she bowled with all season long last year.
And made so many telecasts doing it. Well, she's down by 31 pins. She's in the 9th frame. Again, her max score is 269. It's got to push. Ooh. I wasn't too sure about that one, Sydney.
I wasn't either.
Let's watch it here. Sliding 30, almost 19 at the arrows. Doesn't get it quite to 10, 12, and now the ball started to fade or push even more in front of the 1-3 pocket. Right lane, 9 strikes in a row Lindsay's going for. Excellent run, Lindsay. That one looked like she laid it down just a touch inside. Didn't quite project as far right. Hand might have got around it a little bit early. Leaves the 4-pin.
That is the first miss we've seen from Lindsay on the right lane.
So now here's a scenario too, right? If she spares this and strikes out 279, she would definitely go on to advance and face Stefanie, but it all depends on what she does in the 10th frame. So clearly the probability in this match is very, very close because we don't know what's going to happen until Lindsay finishes her 10th frame. If she strikes and spares, and Danielle strikes out, we could have a potential tie. A lot of good scenarios. And as Jason said, there's been a lot of roll-offs this week.
Why not one more?
Why not one more? Big shot right here.
She gets the first one. Lindsay will need the second one in the 10th to guarantee herself moving on to this next match.
Big shot right here. Let me say this, the 3 shots in the 10th frame of the Queens were some of the 3 prettiest deliveries I've ever seen. She pounded the pocket. Strike here means she advances. Oh. Not as good, not as good. Watch this off her hand, way inside, almost like she's shooting a 3-pin spare. Ball checks up early, almost leaves the 4-7-10. Luckily to roll it out, leaves the 10-pin. If she does make it, again, she will force Danielle to strike out in the 10th frame in order to force a roll-off.
That would feel on brand for the Bowlers Journal Cleveland Open.
And as you said, Danielle hasn't missed on the right lane either. It's a big frame for Danielle. Needs this hit. 10 falls late.
She did not like that one at all. She said straight up out of it.
Just again looked like it was accelerated at the bottom of the swing. And as you said, Sid, with her toe injury, she's wearing a sneaker on the right foot and her bowling shoe on the left foot. Doesn't knock it out. Wow, what a great score. Lindsay's going to shoot 269 in advance. Danielle will shoot, I believe, 258 if she spares. So an 11-pin deficit. Lindsay will move on to face Stefanie in our semifinal match.
Yorktown ladies, let's give a huge round of applause to our fourth place finisher, Miss Danielle McEwan. Talk about some good bowling, folks. Lots of strikes happen here on the championship pair. Next up, we have our remaining finalists. They will give warm-up shots here, and then we will have Boomershine versus Johnson, who will advance to the championship round right here, the PWBA Bowlers Journal Cleveland Open.
Wow, what a great match.
It was.
Yeah, that was exciting. But Jordan Richard going to get some practice shots. Stefanie Johnson coming in next. And while we wait, got some words from our friends at Rotogrip. And after that, we'll be doing our second giveaway of the night, Rotogrip Ball of Choice. So be sure to be ready for that as soon as we get back from these few words from our friends at Rotogrip.
Hi, I'm Stefanie Johnson.
Hi, I'm Shannon O'Keefe,
and this is Duo.
Announcing the latest breakthrough from Rotogrip, the Duo, a new symmetrical bowling ball that performs on and off the lanes. HP3 striking power. Plus, a portion of every Duo purchase will be donated to Big Brothers and Big Sisters. That's Big Brothers and Big Sisters everywhere.
We're Stefanie, and that's the Duo from Rotogrip.
Teaming up to make a difference. For Big Brothers and Big Sisters, you and the Duo from Rotogrip.
Passing my love of bowling down to my daughter has been a gift, and I'm praying that one day she becomes better than Dad.
It's become a very important part of my life. My name's Jeremy Hatcher, and I've been bowling certified since 1989.
If you're for bowling, bowl certified.
Bowl certified.
Bowl certified.
Bowl certified.
If you're for bowling, bowl certified.
All right, folks, we are back. And once again, we will be doing our Rotogrip Ball of Choice giveaway, so be sure to take it out of full screen mode and get your fingers ready for a giveaway. Sid, Kel, got a couple more great matches coming up. But,
yes, we do.
That was a great one we just saw.
I know. I mean, you shoot 258 and lose. That's just devastating to me. Like, okay, she missed 3 times. 3 times she didn't strike, and she shoots 258 and loses. And then Lindsay just only made 1 bad shot. She shoots 269. Easily could have been 300. So thought there'd be some high scores, right, Sid?
Absolutely. We're looking forward to these next 2 matches. Stefanie Johnson up next versus Lindsay Boomershine, who feels like we've just been watching our VHS replay over and over again.
Thank you for bringing in my 1985 slogan there with the VHS replay.
I'm here for it.
I appreciate that. I spent one summer indoors watching videos when the VCR came out. Oh. Well, it's pretty hot in here with the high scoring, but it's beautiful weather in outside Cleveland, Ohio. Home of our Cleveland Browns, the Cleveland Indians, and as Jason reminded me, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Or BIC for short. The Browns, the Indians, and the Cavaliers.
There you go.
Yep, a lot of great things here in Cleveland.
Used to be the home of the PBA as well.
Yes.
In Ohio.
Yep. The TFC used to be in Ohio, down in
yeah, they
Toledo.
actually brought it back a few years ago.
Yep.
So it's back in Riviera Lanes.
I love all those fun facts.
The only fun fact I know about Cleveland is that my favorite, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but my favorite musical artist is from here, Machine Gun Kelly. Took the time. He owns a coffee shop here, went there.
Okay, I'm sorry to say
It's
I
okay.
don't know that artist.
It's okay, Kel.
Okay, we got a little age
okay.
gap going on. Someone doesn't know who
okay.
VHS, and someone doesn't know Machine Gun Kelly. I think we're all even now.
I know Bugsy Kelly or Al Capone. All in good fun, folks, all in good fun. Stefanie Johnson, she was not in Grand Rapids last week, and that time off, she went back home. She's here, and look, she makes her first telecast of the season in #2 spot, and closed in pretty close, too. She was chasing down Jordan a long time.
Grab those seats. It is almost time for our semifinal match here of the PWBA Bowlers Journal Cleveland Open. Boomershine versus Johnson, 2 seasoned veterans here of the PWBA. Who's going to advance to the youngster, Jordan Richard, who's on a hot streak? I don't know, but I'm excited to find out. A lot of great bowling happening right here, folks. Let's give these ladies a huge round of applause. Our semifinal match here for the PWBA Bowlers Journal Cleveland Open.
I love Robin's enthusiasm. I think we need to switch her to decaf, though. She's doing a fantastic job as our PWBA tournament director. So, folks, semifinal match, Sydney. As Robin just said, Stefanie against Boomershine. Lindsay, let's see. Right now, Lindsay's averaging well above 260. She shot 256, 269. To advance, she's got 525. So what is that?
262.5.
Thank you, Jason, you human calculator, you. I am good at math, by the way. I do not use my phone to add up my sheet, just so you know. Stefanie kicks off the match. Frame number 1. Oh, ringing 10-pin. Ringing 10-pin. She's about, would you say, about 18 at the arrows? Cindy, it's very difficult. We're at a slight angle where the camera is to see, so I'm guessing around 18 somewhere at the arrows.
I would say so. Appears to be sliding 26,
Yeah.
25, 26. Stefanie is going to choose our higher seed. She got to choose which lane she started on. Chose to start the match. Means she'll finish on this right lane, which has been favorable for every player so far.
I think Lindsay's going to use the same ball, I'm guessing. She's been pretty solid on the right lane. No slowing down for her.
She is now 10 for 11 on that right lane. Only miss a 4-pin. Lindsay takes her time. Excellent pre-shot routine.
Oh no. High leaves the Greek church. That was definitely inside her target and slower ball speed off her hand.
First mistake we've seen from Lindsay so far.
Yeah, it just did not project to the right down the lane. It was definitely inward off her hand at the launch angle. Leaves what we call here the Greek church. Second frame in, just try to get as much wood as possible, right, Sid?
That's for sure. She'll want to go for the 3. Pins have been bouncy. You never know. They bounce, just not the right direction.
Yeah.
For Stefanie, it's going to feel like this is an opportunity. We haven't seen Lindsay miss by very much. I'm sure Stefanie's aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
Lindsay is more than likely still just one move away from another 4-bagger. Stefanie needs to take advantage of this open.
Oh, ha, ha. Ring 10 as she opens up on the left lane. Now blower 7-pin. Watch this shot. This is a beautiful delivery. She's about 17, a little bit more direct towards the 3-pin. You can see the head pin just fly in front. 2 does not go into the 4 to take out the 7.
Steph will use her spare ball to go straight at the 7-pin. Most ladies out on tour do use some sort of urethane or spare ball to shoot at their spares. Mm-hmm. Allows them to take a lane out of play. All right, Cal, you're Steph. You've had 2 great executed frames. These first 2 not so awesome outcomes or results. What's the mindset at this point?
If I said what I really wanted to say, no, I would she's just to keep pounding the pocket. You know, this is where, you know, you have right ball reaction. Everything looks good. You know, maybe move like a 1 board just to give the ball a slight different angle entry into the pocket. But she's got good ball reaction. Just like that. Yeah, she's still sliding about 27. Ball shapes up really well. This has been what you said, Lindsay's first Open in almost 2.5 match games already. So see if she can recover. Likes that right lane. Sliding 27, starting to creep a little bit left. This is interesting too because all the players, you know, even though the styles are somewhat different, they're all pretty much in the same part of the lane. So a lot of traffic is going over that section. We should see some transitioning occur in these next few frames. Danielle was a little bit deeper than both of them, but it looks like Stefanie and Lindsay are close to each other. To 8-10. Oh no, this is such to be questioning, right? Sid, right? Because she's been so locked in. That one looks like she just kind of stepped out of the shot a little bit more. Obviously, the ball didn't come off her hand quite as cleanly. And where she had such good roll, such good carry, such good area, it's starting to drastically change on her. This is the one the bowler has to ask himself, is it the lane or was that actually me? And honestly, I think it was her that shot.
I would agree with you. Kel stepped out of it, more than likely missed it at the bottom, causing the ball not to rev up as soon, doesn't hook as much, ultimately leaving the 2-8-10. She still had great ball motion at that 2-8. I'll often tell my college players, the 2-8 is a window into your next shot on this lane. You can tell if you have great ball motion. You can tell if it was you or if you need to make a bigger move.
When your swing moves and your legs don't, what's that telling you as a player, Sydney? I kind of felt that last week, so I'd love to know what advice you'd give me. The ball was going forward, but my legs didn't want to go with it.
Just start running, Kel.
Start running. There we go.
Running.
Stefanie looking for a double. There's the breaks we were looking for. 4-step approach. Great balance and leverage at the foul line. Stefanie very rarely falls off balance. She's got great balance at the foul line every single time. Not much has changed in her game for as many years as she's been out on tour. You can always rely on her consistency from shot to shot. I know Pat Costello was one of her coaches as growing up back in Florida. I know she's so proud of Stefanie every time she competes.
Fortunate hit there for Steph. It's like that 7-pin came back. Bowling always works that way.
Yeah, that was a light hit. You could see the ball really just in shape to the pocket, but it doesn't always have to be about splitting the 8-9. That's what's trying to get some of the younger athletes and bowlers to kind of accept, right? You know, sometimes we'll be out on tour to sit and they'll tell us, just fade it towards the 3-pin. You know, let the shakers fall. You don't have to execute. The ball doesn't have to roll through the pocket as strong all the time. Different types of strikes along the way.
JT, can we get that sound clipped so I can replay it before our next event? I need to hear that one.
Anything for you, Sydney.
Thanks, JT.
All right, Lindsay right back on it again on this right lane. I almost think like there's a remote control just kind of turning it direction back to the pocket. It's down by 45 pins, though. This is 2. The Greek Church, she got it in. The 2-8-10, she missed at the bottom of the swing. Kind of stepped out the shot, like you said. Ooh, not enough to roll at the 7. Looks like she moved a little bit deeper left. Yep, she's about 28, 29. Now steeper through the front. similar to what Diana had to do in the opening match.
Better execution on that one. Now she knows for sure the lane is changing.
Mm-hmm.
I need to do something different, whether that's slow down, give my ball more time to shape, maybe use a different ball on only this left lane.
Yeah, this is what goes through our brains, right, Sid? Because, like, she got a little bit firmer with it, but she didn't catch it all. So does she keep up the ball speed and get her hand around a little bit more? So the mid lane tries to read and slow it down. I wouldn't say throw it slower on a 39-foot pattern, because if you don't get it through the middle of the right angle, it's going to want to change direction even more quicker or slow down sooner. So I would think, you know, keep the ball speed up, but try to hit it more at the bottom of the swing with your hand and more rotation. Definitely looking for 4 in a row.
That appeared left to me the entire way down the lane. Steph does have firmer ball speed, so it will allow her to have more miss room to the left than some of our other players today. But like we've said about Lindsay for these first 2 matches, when you have good ball motion, you don't have to be perfect.
Correct.
That's what's beautiful about bowling.
But when it's not perfect, it feels horrible.
I would agree.
Five in a row. She's got her own little Yahtzee going on. Now, again, I thought that was a little bit in front of her as well. But as you said, her ball speed helps her to project to the front, because that was easily 20. And now she's getting it to board about 12 at the not even the break point. It's just kind of feeding itself and kind of falling back to that zone towards that 3-pin. In my opinion, I would have thought on a 39-foot pattern we'd see more shape out of the ball or more roundness from it by going more left to right. Really hasn't missed on the right lane, and now she starts off with that 9-pin. She's 27, 28. She's 17 at the arrows. You can see the ball just sharply change direction at the back portion of the lane. Stone's a 9-pin.
Square ball has hips there. Makes the 9-pin. I'm going to go back to this left lane. Presumably make a move. She has a couple of options. We'll see what she does.
Looks like she did try to get around a little bit more. But now, unfortunately, the ball is just not getting through the mid lane. 28, she's about 8-19, 18. You can see the ball, quick pickup so fast at about 38, 42 feet. This is where she had great ball reaction along the way. Then all of a sudden, it just, some speed bumps came in and affected her path to the pocket.
From your experience, Kelly, how much does the shots that happen in between the matches affect somebody like Lindsay's ball motion?
Drastically. I mean, just like that, we see where she had really good ball motion, then you just catch it a little bit more and it makes a sharp change in direction. You get through it and miss it. It starts to go more forward faster, you know, and it's just, you have 3 frames left, 2 frames left now, so you know a ball change would be imminent. But unfortunately, I think it's too late. Stefanie's probability of winning the match is very, very high. Lindsay can strike out for 192, and of course, Stefanie's on a 279 pace. Yeah, a strike right here I think pretty much secures this match. Stefanie hasn't missed the pocket in 8 frames. 18 to about 12 down lane. Great ball reaction. She's most likely going to advance on. You never know. Shouldn't call it too soon, but again, 189. Lindsay can only shoot 192. She just needs to keep the ball on the lane, stay behind the line, and get a few pins. That'll do it. Stefanie Johnson, the number 2 seed. She will go on to face Jordan, our number 1 seed. And look how consistent she's been. I mean, every shot has been almost identical, like you said. DVR, VHS, you pick it. I don't care what you call it. It's been one after the other, just repeating. Four pin for Lindsay. Don't forget, this is her 3rd show of the year in our 7th competition so far. She has the 1 major under her belt. She will definitely go on. And when the ladies win this year, they automatically get seeded into the Tour Championship at the end of the season.
We'll see a ball change from Lindsay. Learn something. Try something different.
I did witness how good the pin carry is at the center. Look at that. High hit. 3 pin just comes off the wall and tickles the 6 pin down. I almost feel like the pins don't weigh their legal 3.6 ounce weight. I think they might be somewhere in the 2 pound range. Jason, I'd like certification to come out here and please test these pins.
I can assure you they're certified.
I know they're legal, darn it.
Nick Hoagland made sure of it.
I'm sure he did. It's still a little conspicuous, though.
I started throwing kisses at the ones that fell this week behind my back. I was so thankful. I was throwing messengers. That usually is like a once a tournament thing, and it was like a once every couple games thing. Like, can we bowl here all the time?
Yeah.
It makes me feel good.
Not enough there to tickle out the 7. So Lindsay, as Jason said, how much she averaged in the first 2 matches, unfortunately, will not continue on to the championship match, but bowled fantastic. Again, her 3rd telecast of the season. 3 for 7 shows so far, folks, with 1 win under her belt. Great bowling, Lindsay. I think Stefanie's hoping she has this reaction for the next championship match.
There's one thing I learned about the Cleveland fans this week, and they're the ultimate hype man. Like, constantly it was, "You're bowling so great, great job." You would hear it from the stands, "Great shot." They were so encouraging. A big piece for me of, I don't know about you, Kel, but when we go to these different places is, what is the fan base like? How interactive are they? How involved are they?
Sure.
And so Cleveland has been a lot of fun for me. I enjoy coming back here simply because I know how involved the fans behind us are going to be.
Yeah, like I said, I'm really sorry I didn't bowl this week, but I did stay in town to support. I'm rooming with Birgit Norix this week and the next week and so forth. And I love the community. I love the fact, though, Everyone is so warm and welcoming and supportive.
Little area check there.
You have to every once in a while, Jason.
Yeah, she got that one pretty far right. And
She
came
did.
back and she kind of smiled. We know Jordan can get it back from there.
We do. I used to be able to myself.
I think he still can.
Beautiful game by Stefanie Johnson, 279 to 181. Stefanie will go on to advance in our championship match coming up with Jordan Richard.
Next up, we have our championship match. Johnson versus Richard, both looking for their 5th titles. Who's going to take it home? Who's going to take the title of the PWBA Bowlers Journal Cleveland Open champion? Coming up soon here.
All right. There it is from Robin Graves. And one more match coming up, one more giveaway coming up at the back end of this commercial break. A few words from our friends at Storm. Another one of our fantastic gold partners out here on the PWBA Tour. And when we come back, we'll be doing that bowling ball giveaway and the championship match. The match everybody's been waiting for. Stefanie Johnson taking on Jordan Richard.
Your game is about to get better. Introducing SPI Plus, a new digital magazine monthly from Storm. This month, practical advice from Danielle McEwan on setting goals and reaching them. Practice tips from Shannon O'Keefe and SPI Plus columns on your fit, fitness, even traveling tips. SPI Plus. Visit stormbowling.com, enter promo code 2023 and get the entire year free. Take your game to the next level with SPI Plus.
All right, folks, we are back. Jordan Richard getting her last practice shots here. As I mentioned, we will be doing that Storm bowling ball giveaway. Storm, one of the gold partners out here on the PWBA Tour. They've been nice enough to provide bowling balls for every Stepladder Finals this season on the PWBA Tour. And we will be giving one here away in just a minute. Make sure you take it out of full screen mode so you can see the giveaway. Submit entry button pop up on your screen, and good luck to everybody in the giveaway.
Jason, what do they have to do for the giveaway?
All you got to do is hit the button.
Just hit the button?
Just hit the button. That's it. It's simple.
Is that like the
it's
Staples
like my
button?
Job. It's like my job. All I do is just push the button, you know, go to pair each game, push the button.
Push the button.
And they pay me. It's
like the Staples thing.
Amazing.
That was easy.
I don't get free bowling balls, but,
oh.
you know. Yeah, the easy button. Yeah.
The easy button.
Yeah.
That was easy. You know, I don't like talking about myself. I really try not to, but I have to say, just after talking about a fun fact, after I won the TOC, the president of Staples sent me the Staples button.
Oh, yeah.
That's that
so
was
cool.
easy. Yeah.
Where
So I thought that's kind of.
It?
I do.
Okay.
It's on my desk at home. I always think that's a cool story to tell.
Actually? That actually happened?
Yeah, he sent me the Staples button. He goes, that was easy. So I thought that was pretty neat.
That is so cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was a nice letter written by the president of Staples, and it was really cool. So it's still on my desk at home.
Well, guys, Jordan Richard bowled a 124 in Game 3 in this tournament.
And then shot 300.
And then shot 300.
Yeah.
Did she? Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it on this pair that she shot 124?
No, it was on 39 and 40.
Yeah, I heard there were a few unlikable pairs in the facility, which happens, you know, with the best of every bowling center.
But Giselle Poss, who didn't make the cut, was crossing with her, shot 260 the same game.
Yeah.
So it's pretty crazy.
It's how it goes sometimes.
Well, I truly believe Jordan has to be the front runner for Player of the Year right now. She's just been so dominant. She finished second in Stockton. She won in Spokane, and when she finished second in Stockton, she was just on Sherry Tan's tails right there. She won last week, so she's on a roll. She literally Ba-dum-bum, on a roll.
Overall. Will it be Jordan? Will it be Stefanie? Both former rookies of the year, both teammates on Team USA. They won titles together, but right now, they're going for it all. And 20 grand on the line. We got a match coming up here, Cleveland. Let's give these ladies a huge round of applause. The championship match, PWBA Bowling Journal Cleveland Open.
So Jordan chose, and she's going to have Stefanie start.
Notably, that is our first higher seed to choose for the other person to start the match.
Let's not forget, Stefanie just threw the last 10 in a row.
Make it 11, just in a spicy way.
Did not quite project that correctly off her hand. Just totally missed inside, just really left. Easy way to put it.
Sometimes you just mess up.
Happens. Listen, I always tell this to people, I'm learning from it. The weight of the ball is heavy, it's larger than the size of your hand, and it's moving at the same side of your body. It's in a constant imbalance. And then you're going to throw it at 18 miles an hour. Ring 10 for Jordan. Opening shot, really solid. She's sliding the furthest left out of all of them, 31. She's about 18 at the arrows, getting it out to about 9-10. So a little bit wider angle for her.
Jordan's rev rate allows her to create steeper angles to play with, which also allows her more hold.
Yeah, it's just so clean off her hand. I watched her in Team USA competition when we bowled in Dubai, but then watching her last year in Australia and everything is just so consistent. She's really, her game has transcended a lot. I think she's matured a lot and knows what her goals are and her missions out here on tour to do and what she can actually achieve out here. And it's returning to her every time she goes out in the lanes. Looking for her first strike. 10 straight back.
Very convincing shot here from Jordan. She also is playing the two lanes similarly where she's sliding. Most players we've seen playing them the left lane slightly more. It's possible that because Jordan is further left, she doesn't feel the difference between the two lanes.
$12 in a row for Stefanie. First two in our championship match.
One of my first years on tour, a very wise ball rep said, if you're going to go Brooklyn, make sure you parlay it with the next one. That's exactly what Stefanie just did.
Oh. All right, Sid, what's your diagnosis on that one?
Off of her hand, I liked it.
I did too. I thought it was pretty good. I think she just found some mid-lane friction all of a sudden. Same thing what Lindsay had found on that lane too.
It took me a second to watch the replay. My instinct was to say, that was really good.
Yeah.
And so it's a move here for Stefanie to the left.
Yeah, I mean, her ball speed was still on key. It was still firm and everything. It might have been a touch in front of her, but, you know, a fraction of amount to go high and lead the 7-10, which could even been something else.
She'll take the 1.
Does it roll? Oh, just in front. Can't quite kick the 10 out.
On this lane for Jordan, wrap 10, followed by a flat 10.
Yeah, when other telecasts, I've always talked about Jordan, and we always seem to pause the bowler in their power step getting ready. But you know, one of Jordan's assets is her height. She's so tall and everything. Her footwork is really kind of fast. She really uses her legs very, very strongly, and it works for her that she's able to walk heel toe. She's able to not walk or sprint, but kind of jog a little bit past her swing. That's how she just creates so much power. I think Mom and Dad here in the audience too are watching as well. Her sister Haley bowled this week. I think she just missed the cash cut.
Yeah, she lost in a roll-off.
Yes, thank you.
1 of 2.
1 of how many? Can't quite kick out the 7.
Jordan's ball wants to go just a foot or 2 too long.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's just not reading, slowing down enough in the mid lane. And I'm not quite sure what kind of arsenal she worked through this week. I saw what she warmed up on the TV show with. She started off with a low flaring symmetric bowling ball. All right, so 4 frames in for Jordan Richard. Stefanie Johnson, right now she's 3 pins behind. Solid shot for Stefanie. It's popped up a little bit here at the foul line. I don't know if she slid or stuck a little bit along the way, just after I said how she's always good about posting the shot in a good solid balance.
One thing I liked when that happened, she still watched the ball go down the lane the entire way. Oftentimes I'll see people bowling the tournament and they'll stick or they'll slide a little bit too much and they'll spend that time looking down. Instead of watching their ball go down the lane, she's still gathering all the information for the next time she gets up on that right lane.
Mm-hmm. Two Brooklyn carry strikes. Yeah, see, the more left she's moving. So I wish I could just kind of draw on the screen the pattern, but like picture a cascading staircase. So there's that big section in the middle, then it starts to go down as it goes towards the gutters and back towards the foul line. And I think she's just starting to creep on that line where she needs to get further left with her feet. Like you said, Sid, get a little bit steeper with her angles because she's just getting to the flatter spot of the pattern now. Jordan looks like she went a little bit deeper too. Oh, can't quite kick out that 10 pin. Watch here, she's sliding 31 again, 19-20 at the arrows. Ball just faces up a little too late. It's a little too long. See, if I had my way, I would tell the lane to extend itself and make it 3 feet longer, and it would have been perfect. That doesn't work, unfortunately.
Converts the spare. This left lane has been hooking earlier. We should see Jordan have an easier time getting all 10 on this left lane.
Jordan down by 8. There's a strike she's looking for. She is much deeper. She looks like she even moved further inside. 31, that looks like 21 at the arrows. Again, about 11, 12-ish down lane.
We saw the immediate look over to her tour team. She's sitting with them now. More than likely discussing, what do I got to do to get the 10 out on this right lane?
Or it could be where are we going for dinner afterwards. You never know. Everybody thinks differently.
Probably the frozen custard place.
See?
Will be the first pit stop.
All right.
First.
Stephanie's turned 2 Brooklyns into a doubles now. See if she can extend it to 3 in a row. Looks good on the right lane. Yeah, solid on the right lane, but she does have to figure something out on lane number 23.
Steph was 6 for 7 on this right lane, her first match.
Yeah, so through 6 frames. Again, Brooklyn the first frame, strike on the right lane, solid. Then all of a sudden she goes high through the face, leaves the 7-10. Back on the left lane again, goes Brooklyn again, which turns into a 3-bagger and gives her an 18-pin lead over Jordan Richard going into the 7th frame. Wasn't sure of that one. She knew she had to move. Looks like she got firmer, but missed at the bottom swing. Watch her kind of steered a little bit with her shoulder. Not quite sure what the reaction was going to be. 2-8, makeable spare. Converts nicely. Back to this right lane for Jordan. This is a tricky spare because you went high, right? 3 times in a row. Well, Brooklyn, crossover. Now all of a sudden you go light. It's not an easy spare to make. Jordan Richards down by 16 going in the 7th frame. She has not found the strike on this lane. Got to come back. And it does. Looks like it got a little bit more shape. Looks like she fed it to the right a little bit earlier and faster. Watch this. She's hovering around 20. That one's 18. Now it gets to about 10. She's about 12-ish down the lane. Ball gets into the friction earlier, starts to slow down and change direction, shapes up faster to the 1-3 pocket. Solid, solid strike by Jordan. And I also want to go back, change from bowling. It's the Cleveland Guardians, so I just want to clear that up. Would hate to be wrong, so. All right, Jordan looking to turn a double into 3 in a row, down by 6 pins in the 8th frame. Got to push. Flush. This shot sliding 32. Wow, she's about 22. Didn't quite get as far right on the left lane. Push back, down by 4 pins. Miss Johnson going into the 8th frame.
Firm. That one was quite firm from Stefanie.
I just think she missed at the bottom swing. Like you said, her hand kind of got around it even more to spin it. For sure, and definitely a bit more ball speed.
Fortunate to leave only the 8 pin. Single pins when we use plastic are simple as stand here, look there, hit the target.
Still high scores. Max score for Stefanie, 233. 248 for Jordan. Makes the right adjustment on the left lane. All right, interesting numbers here. She wasn't too sure the last time. Looks like she got deeper. Ball fades away, pushes through that spot in the middle lane. For 4 in a row for Jordan and the lead. Knocks out the 10 pin. Look at that shot. She definitely has more ball shape through the pocket this time.
Looks like the decision to get the 10 out was simply to get the ball to the friction sooner, give the ball more time to make its way into the 1-3.
She needs the first hit for sure. Strike in 8 is what Jordan needs to shut out Stefanie Johnson and win her 3rd title of this 2023 season. Her 3rd title. Big shot right here. Eight more pins. She needs 8 pins. Boom! Jordan Richard, your PWBA Bowlers Journal Cleveland Open champion and third-time winner out here on the Ladies Tour for 2023. Defeats Stefanie Johnson, wins the title and $20,000 for first place, and clear frontrunner for Player of the Year this season.
Title number 5 for Jordan Richard in her young career.
That is great bowling, folks, by all competitors on tonight's show. Great bowling, Stefanie. Great bowling. Jason, that was fun to watch and be a part of.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan, man, you got to, it's amazing. Game 3 of this tournament, again, she shot 124, and she's just on such a great roll. Nothing's bothering her at all.
Yeah.
Came back, shot 300 a couple games later, and then found her way to the top again and won.
Even last week, she was down, like I think she was minus 87 at one point, or 120 pins, comes back and makes, you know, the top whatever, and then goes on to win the last round. That's what's so beautiful about our sport. You can have, unfortunately, a bad game and come back into it.
All right, we got the trophy presentation for you guys coming up next, and after that, we will get an interview with our champion, Jordan Richard. So be sure to stay tuned.
I'll put Jordan here. Yeah. Oh, testing. All right, bowling fan. Gotta move. We have our trophy presentation here with the owners of Yorktown Lanes, the Cottrell brothers, Mr. Jeremy and Aaron.
Sorry, we're just gonna keep passing it. Jordan, amazing job. That last block, you just took off and finished it strong here. So congratulations, Cleveland. We're a bowling city. I think from all of us here, I don't know who it means more to, the city or you, but congratulations. Come take your prize. Thank you.
Thank you. Congrats. Gonna switch sides here. Jordan, funny meeting you here. Hello. Third time this year? Second in a row? What were your goals that you set out before the season started, and how have you exceeded them?
Well, it was to cash in every event, hopefully to win, but it's nice to win 3 times already.
All right, so have you thought about, season-ending awards, perhaps? I think this, puts you in the lead for Player of the Year.
Not too much. I'm just trying to focus on one tournament at a time, and at the end, if I'm on top, then I'm on top.
Is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Personally, my sponsors, Rotogrip Turbo and I Am Bowling, and of course, everyone here. The hospitality this week was fantastic. Thank you to the PWBA, because without all of you guys, I do not get to stand here. And of course, my family, because they made the trip again. And they think they're not coming next week, but they are.
All right, everyone, the 2023 PWBA Bowlers Journal Cleveland Open champion, Ms. Jordan Richard. Thank you all for coming out this week. It's been amazing, Cleveland. Please follow the PWBA all year long on Bowl TV and CBS Sports. Coming up next with the U.S. Women's Open. We thank you all for coming out. Safe travels, and we hope to see you once we're in Cleveland again, hopefully. Good night, guys.
All right. We are going to get an interview with Jordan Richards, so if you want to stick around for that, Kelly and Sydney will be doing that. I'm sure you got a bunch of questions for her, like, you know, what does it feel like to win, like, every week?
I want to know what her secret is right now. You know, share the juice. Share the juice. No, it's been phenomenal just to watch her. You know, especially again, seeing who she was, and when she first came out on tour, she was the Rookie of the Year a few years ago, and so forth, and how she's just developed her game, her mental game, her physical game over the years, and obviously something has clicked for her in this season. So I'd love to hear what her secrets are, if she could share some of that love with some of the elders here. But you know, just wondering what kind of wave she's riding on right now.
Yeah, she's already doubled her career title haul. Coming into this season, she had 2. Now she's got 5. Already 3 this season. And you guys both know how hard it is to win out here, right? I mean, it's really amazing when you see a player go on a run like this, like we saw Shannon O'Keefe a couple years ago. I mean, she's getting in the territory now where it's kind of all-time great seasons.
Yeah, for sure.
JT is going to work on getting Jordan in here with us up in the booth.
I think she'll be busy with photographs for a few minutes. Her whole family is here. Kind of neat. I think there's some good luck charms now. It's not a bad ride to Rochester. It's only 4 hours from here.
No, not bad at all. Her family is so supportive of both her and Haley being out here on tour, but of the entire squad.
At this time, it's last call for the snack bar. Last call, snack bar.
Last call for the snack bar. I better get my order in.
They have really good pretzel sticks.
Oh,
They do.
See? I know, right? Come on, guys. Mike, I need a large fry. Extra crispy. Although the smart bowler would say, can I have the side salad with dressing on the side, please, and chicken breast? I'm not always this funny, folks, just so you know. I am. I try. It's amazing just to watch Jordan just excel. You know, I think look at the event that's happened all week long. Again, the ladies came right from Grand Rapids on Wednesday. We drove over. They had practice session on Thursday, 12 games of qualifying Friday with 5 on a pair. Cut to the top 33 cashers this morning, bowled 6 more games. Then come back again for the top 12 and bowl another 6. And Jordan, like Jason said, just kind of took off and never looked back. Stefanie was on her curtails, though. She was close to catching her. She dominated very well, but it's not like she ran away with 200 or 300 pin lead. I always think it's nice to see the person that led the event to actually go out and win it. You know, it's just that hard work and effort along the way.
It does appear that being the #1 seed on the PWBA tour holds a better statistic this year than it has previously. We saw Sherry Tan win from that spot.
Yep.
Now
yeah.
Jordan.
There she. Hello, Jordan Richard. Congratulations. Let her get her headset on here. Hi, Jordan.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I witnessed some beautiful bowling in the last hour and a half, and you were part of that.
Thank you.
Yeah. How does it feel? This is not your 3rd title this year, 5th overall, but to win back-to-back. Describe that feeling for me.
I don't really have many words.
Really?
I mean, I didn't really. After the first walk yesterday, I was a little shaky, and then it got better. But once I got to the lead today, I was like, all right, like maybe we can repeat. And I did. So
And you did in full fashion, too. I mean, Stefanie caught some lucky breaks early on.
Did. She
and
did.
I'm sure you caught that along
I
the
did.
way.
Yeah.
What were your adjustments to kind of kick out that 10-pin on the right lane?
I actually wanted to move right. That was kind of my process, but then when I went and talked to Sean, I was like, well, maybe right's not the right option, and so I moved one left to try and get the corners out, and they finally fell.
And it worked for you.
Yeah.
It worked for you.
Yep.
Good for you, yeah. Sid, what's your question?
I guess growing up together, I'm not surprised to see you in this space.
Thank you.
At what point in time did you say, my name's Jordan Richard, and I'm going to win on the PWBA?
After I won my first title. But I just wanted to come out here and have fun. You know, that was the main goal. And I think my second year on tour, I really struggled with that because I had a lot of success my first year. So now it's just kind of putting the pieces back together, and I'm bowling well.
So what has changed? And I'm not just talking about professional bowling. I've got to witness you bowl on Team USA and carry yourself extremely well there and score very well over the last 2 seasons with Team USA. But what do you think has been the biggest difference in your career, let's say from 2021, halfway through the season, to now currently in 2023?
I feel like I focus more on the smaller things than the bigger things. I feel like I got too far ahead of myself far too many times. And, you know, once you get to the top, it's like, all right, like, it's time to win. And then you start putting the bigger pieces together instead of the smaller pieces, and I found myself falling out of cuts faster than being in them.
Okay.
And so I feel like that is just my main goal, and to just be happy that I'm out here competing.
Could you give us an example of some of the smaller things you focus on?
Like one game at a time. You know, prime example, the first couple of frames, I'm like, all right, you know, like I wrapped 10 twice and she broke them twice. So it's like, okay, you know, when are my breaks going to come? So I kind of just stayed to my process, and then they fell my way.
Yeah, and I know, I'm sorry, Sid, I don't mean hog Jordan over here, but Jason did point out that during the week you did have a 124
Oh, I
game.
did. I did.
And
On the end pair.
On the end pair.
Yep,
but
I did.
Then you also rebounded and shot 300 this
I
week.
did.
Yeah, so some of the
same
smaller
block.
funny things. Same block.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a little bit of a roller coaster.
It
right?
was. It very much was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, Kel, it's okay if you hog her. We've seen each other a couple of times in this space already.
Well, I for sure am excited to see you on this ride along the way in this journey that you've created so far in this season. Tell me now, well, 2 questions. One, is your accountant your next phone call? Because you might have pushed yourself in a new tax bracket after this win. But what is your focus going into next week? Obviously a major and the U.S. Open, and I'm sure something on your bucket list to achieve.
You know, last year I bowled really well at the U.S. Open, so I feel like it still kind of stings that it ended the way that it did. But I'm just going to focus on one block at a time, and I can't win the first game, so we'll take it one game at a time.
Sound advice not only to myself and to all the viewers out there, but every bowler that's watching right now.
I have nothing else. I mean, it's just been incredible to watch you bowl, and I hope that you keep it up for the next few weeks.
Thank you.
I could ask you 17 more questions. I will just say for a positive, and just to say how proud I am of you.
Thank
to
you.
see how well you've matured as an adult in your game and everything that you've brought to Team USA, what you've brought on the ladies tour. You know, I know you've just influenced a lot of young lady bowlers back home who are tuning in tonight to watch you in the crowd here in Cleveland to say, you know, there's a woman who knows what she's doing, and she's just achieved an ultimate goal by winning 3 events so far, and only the first 7 and has a few more ahead of her. So I applaud you for your efforts, for your work ethic, and what you've achieved. Congratulations on winning tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Welcome.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for our show tonight. I'd like to thank Kelly Kulick and Sydney Brummett for giving us their expert insight. I know in the chat you guys were popular. There were a few folks that said they thought their heads might explode because you guys were pouring them so full of knowledge.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, in a good way.
In a good way.
In a good way. So that's going to do it for our coverage here this week. Again, we do have a regional coming up tomorrow right here on Bowl TV, so be sure to tune in tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Time to catch that. There will be one more champion crowned before we head off to the U.S. Women's Open, which takes place. We have the PTQ on Tuesday, and then a full week of coverage for you here on Bowl TV. And don't also forget, we've got the USBC Senior Masters Stepladder Finals taking place tomorrow on Bowl TV while that regional's going on. So a lot of stuff coming up here on Bowl TV. We thank you guys so much for joining us here this week. I'd like to thank the USBC Board of Directors, the BPAA Board of Directors, our gold partners, Brunswick, Storm, Rotogrip, and Kegel. Thank you guys for all you do for supporting the PWBA Tour. Also like to thank the athletes for putting on a great show. So many 300 games this week. The Stepladder Finals was just 250s and 260s. What a great entertaining event this week. And but most of all, we want to thank you guys in the Bowl TV community. We couldn't do this coverage without you guys, and we really enjoyed the banter in the chat all week long as we usually do. And we'll see you back here again tomorrow. But again, thank you guys so much from Yorktown Lanes. We'll be back again tomorrow with a regional, and we're going to be signing off for tonight. But remember, on Bowl TV, bowling lives here. Good night.
Great shot. Come on.